Hi, everyone. This is Candy Johnson. I am your host, and this is Real Talk brought to you by Real Raw Records. Today's topic is the Wolf of Wall Street, and we're going to be discussing uh, corporate America. And the reason we're going to be discussing corporate America is because corporate America run our country. Okay. And to my knowledge, corporate people run all countries, okay, or most countries. Some are owned by mobs and and stuff like that, mafia and things like that there. But without putting myself in danger, they all one and the same, if you get my drift. I saw the movie Wolf of Wall Street because I was talking to somebody about business and how I got started with my business from nothing. And I was homeless and everything, and I started my business. And when I was beginning my business, nobody wanted to help out in any kind of way, much less help out with encouragement. They actually discouraged me from doing what I, aspired to do, and they did it quite fervently. They talked about me, they laughed at me, called me crazy and things of that nature, told me how impossible it was and nobody's ever done this and how you gonna do this and how you gonna do that, And because of the similarities of what I was going through, that is a part of the plot of the movie, The Wolf of Wall Street. My daughter, she suggested that I watch the movie. And she know I don't watch TV. So she said, Mama, you like to watch movies anyway. She said, why don't you order, because I order movies and watch them. And she said, well, why don't you order The Wolf of Wall Street? And so I ordered it, and I watched it. And the first time that I watched it, the most important thing that grasped my attention was the fact that the movie was very and extremely realistic, which is very unusual for modern day movie plots. So that intrigued me by itself. Secondly, what intrigued me was the fact that not only did this man in the movie start from nothing and built himself up, but he did it twice. However, he did it twice. He did it one way the first time, and then he did it another way the second time. And the distinction between the ways he got himself on his feet was very intriguing and inspiring to me because the first time he had some good mentors and some bad mentors that taught him how to excel at stocks and stock exchange, right? And be a stockbroker, I should say. As I watched the movie, I saw that all the you have to kind of endure the vulgarities and stuff in there, but the moral of the story to me was worth me having to endure the kind of vulgar stuff that they was doing, but that's real life though. Excuse me, y'all. I've been out working all day and I'm hungry. But that was real life shit of how he had a good wife. He left her for a hoe. The hoe treated him exactly like he deserved it. Because he didn't appreciate having a woman that loved him, okay? But he went through all these progressions, but it was very realistic because people aspire or have desire to be wealthy and have it all, so to speak. And they don't realize how unrealistic this so-called reality is. I noticed that when I used to sell dope years ago, I noticed that the drug addicts would paint the picture like doing drugs, like, oh, we had so much fun. Oh, was you there? What happened the other night? We were doing this, we were doing that. And they kind of try to deceive themselves into believing that being a drug addict or that type of lifestyle is exciting and wonderful and awesome. Okay. And, in some regard, there is an element of surprise and like living on edge, so to speak. That is definitely a lifestyle where you have to live on edge, because even if you are a very respectable person and you use drugs, there's always that element of you have to watch out for the police, because even if they go on to score, the police could stop them and take them to jail for possession of drugs. And so there's, even if you're very discreet with that type of lifestyle, there's an element of danger there, or kind of living on edge, so to speak. And there are some really wild, crazy things. Like, I really believe that if a movie maker were to just stand out, in an area and that's heavily populated with people who sell and use drugs, they could get a whole movie series that would be a box office hit, because it just be some wild, crazy, unbelievable, unthinkable shit going on. on the streets. Now, the real truth of the matter is that the later you get in the night, you know, there's always excitement till about 1 or 2 o'clock. But the later you get in the night, then reality start kicking in. Around between 3 and 5 o'clock, reality start kicking in. Okay. And what I mean by reality start kicking in, most of the drug users, by that time, they about running out of money. And, you know, or they doing what they call geeking. They wanting more drugs, but they don't have the money to buy. So you can imagine the lifestyle of a rich man on drugs. It could not possibly be very pleasant, because he got money to buy drugs and destroy himself 24 hours a day. And basically, in the movie, that's basically what he was doing. He was always on some type of drugs, and he was just making a lot of fucked up decisions. Now I'm gonna bring it on home to you. For everybody that's aspiring to have a lot of money, I want you to know there's a reason why they call that movie The Wolf of Wall Street. Okay. They should have called them the Sharks. But depending on what lifestyle you choose, and most likely you would have to choose a very lucrative business to begin with, in order to have, for it to produce the type of money you're aspiring to get. You know, if you want to have plenty of money where you can do whatever you always wanted to do in life. Okay. Now, to some people, $1 million is a whole bunch of money. I want you to know $1 million ain't shit, and you can spend that up in 2 days. I'll say a week max. Okay. So people that live very frivolous lifestyles, they got more than $1 million. Okay, they got way more than $1 million. Okay. However, the reason that the Christians always say money is the root of all evil, which I want to clarify, money is not the root of all evil. I've done a lot of good things, and I plan to do even more with my money. And so money do not determine what type of person you are. You have to decide for yourself what you want to do with your life, with yourself, and build your character to the point where it's grounded in things that are productive, so that anytime money reaches your hand, you're doing something productive with it. And you have a choice. You have a choice just like anybody else, whether you poor or rich. Everybody, when they get a dollar in their hand, okay, If you get some money in your hand, I don't want nobody trying to rob me or nothing like that, but I got money. Okay, you get money in your hand. Okay. Or you get some, if you get some money in your hand. Now, it's two things you can do when you get that money in your hand. You can spin it up. Wait, I take that back. There's three things that you can do when you get money in your hand. You can either take that money, spin it up quick as you can get it. Okay, then you no longer have it. That right there is a poor mentality. Okay. Or when you get some money in your hand, you can take that money and you can save it. That as well is a poor man's mentality. I'll say, Candy, that's the first damn time I ever heard somebody say saving is a poor man mentality. So, because the rich people ain't gonna tell you that. All these get rich quick people, these so-called economic finance coaches, they ain't gonna tell you the truth about money, okay? Because they trying to get it for themselves, okay? And some people can't tell you because they don't really know, okay? But saving money is not a wealthy man's mentality, okay? Now, remember I said there's three different things that you can do when you get that money in your hand. I told you in the first two, you can spin it up and it's gone. You can save it and say, okay, I'm gonna hold on to this money and I'm gonna just save it up and eventually I'm gonna be rich. Now, I'm gonna tell you how. First, before I tell you the third thing that you can do with the money, I'm gonna tell you why saving is the poor man's mentality, okay? Because if you work on a job and you making $50,000 a year, well, you definitely not gonna be able to save all 50,000 of those dollars. You're gonna have to live off of some of that money. So you would only be able to realistically save a percentage of that money. Now, how much percentage you can or choose to save is on you, but the average person saves less than 10% of their income, okay? So if you make $50,000 a year and you save 10% of your income, I want you to know, even if you save for 50 fucking years, you still ain't gonna be rich after them 50 fucking years of saving 10% of $50,000. Okay, that's why saving is a poor man's mentality. Okay, because the only thing saving means is you took some of the money you had and you put it up and just left it there. Okay, that don't mean shit. That's a hoarder. It's not. When people call it saving, that's a hoarder. Okay, And ain't much that comes from a hoarding mentality, okay? Whether you're rich or poor, okay? Now that we got that out the way, and I explained to you what that saving ain't shit, I'm gonna tell you the third thing that you can do with your money when you get it. This is a wealthy man's mentality. You take that money that you got and you spend what you have to live. And whatever proportion of that money that you was planning to save, invest, invest, invest. That's a wealthy person's mentality. Invest, invest, in motherfucking invest. Now you might say, well, Candy, well, what should I invest in? You just saying invest. That's not really telling me much. Well, I can't tell you that because I'll give you a good example of why I couldn't tell you that. This one so-called friend of mine, lady friend of mine, she saw that I started from nothing and I had very little. And I think I went to the auction one time with $23. The first, was it $21? $22? Either way it go, what, but $20-something. I started. I went to the auction. I bought a whole bunch of shit with $23. And she seen me. I went from being homeless to I had a nice house. Then I went from having just a nice house to having a big business property that took up the whole corner. So she said, woo, she said, Candy really came up, doing in the resale business. So she started trying to do it. But she didn't have a passion for it. So it wasn't successful for her. Okay? So I can't tell you what to invest in. But whatever you have a passion for, seek there. Seek there. And that's where your money is. Your money is at. That's where you need to invest. Okay? And because not only will you invest your money into that, but you will also invest your time, your effort, and it won't even be like working because you'll enjoy yourself, okay? Because you're passionate about it. Okay? So, I said all that to say this, that the young man really did touch me in The Wolf of Wall Street because although when he first started out, he got in the business of stockbrokering, he really enjoyed it, okay? But he realized somewhere along the way that things changed and it wasn't as enjoyable anymore, okay? And so he got off that train and he caught another train rolling. And he still was focused in on doing what he loved to do, but he was focused in on doing it in a more respectable manner than he was. Now he did do still did do some silly stuff. All right, but my point is that his success was based upon the fact that he had the passion to do it. And he invested all he had, everything, his whole life was surrounded around making his dreams come true in that particular field. And that, I sincerely believe, is the was the source of his success. Now, you might say, Candy, well, that was just a story made up by the movies, but I want you to know that was a story made up by the movie theaters. It's only because it was a duplication of something that happened in real life. And so I'm gonna leave you with that. I dropped them jewels on y'all today. But in the meantime, in between time, I want you to keep it real or take your ass back to Fantasyland.